Hello, everybody. My name is Sky. I'm your friendly neighborhood autistic person full of random useless facts, but definitely not full of energy. Even so, today we are getting into Planet Zoo. In the last stream, we added to our zoo a lemur play palace that is quite expansive and took us 4 hours to build. I was wrong when I originally was saying in the stream that it took us 3.5 hours. It was four. Four. We also got added in some Arctic wolves. A little Arctic wolf pack going on somewhere in here. Hidden away. Where are they? But I built an entire mountain, made a whole mountain. And there they are. There's some of them. We have put some Arctic wolves inside of the mountain. And we also added in, we got very lucky with a collared peccary variant. We got two. We originally found one, and then while we were trying to get collared peccaries to be companions for the one Lewistic one that we found a second Lewistic collared peccary. So we have a small group of collared peccaries in here. Two of them are Lewistic, though they are currently nowhere to be found. And at the very end of the stream, we had two babies be born. We had our very first little okapi baby that is definitely somewhere around here. I'm actually going to track this one. We're going to find this one. We gotta see the baby. Show me the baby. There he is. There she is. We had our first okapi baby. And we also had our first Przewalski's horse baby. And we were actually about to have our second. Right as we popped in, got the notification that we were about to have our second baby. But while we spent time hanging out with the babies and getting pictures of them, the animal market was running in the background and resetting itself, and when we went through it one more time before getting off the stream, we got super lucky, and we found a super rare variant. Very hard to get. Like, I have tried to get this variant, and have gotten over 500 cheetahs and have not been able to get this variant. We got a spotless cheetah. So, that's what we're going to be working on today, is we're going to be making a cheetah habitat. Also happy to have you all in. Welcome in, everyone. Just a heads up, I've got Gossip Girl running on my phone in the background as a show, so I'm not actively watching the stream at the moment. If anything is slightly off or untowards about the stream, if something is seeming weird, let me know in the chat immediately, and I will pull it up on my phone over here. Okay? Okay, I got y'all. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Happy to have you here. Welcome in, Steepo. Welcome in. Happy to have you. Hope you're doing well. And good morning, Jimmy. Happy to have you. Hope you're doing well. How are you and how's small child? But, yeah, that's the plan. Oh, also, I was confused at the very beginning there when we were sitting with the title card. There were two people sitting on top of the little globe at the main menu, and I was so confused by that. I was like, what the fuck? I forgot. I actually added and set up the account. I have multiple accounts. I have 3 accounts for my PlayStation, so I can play for each of my girls. There's Sky's account, which is what we're currently on, then there's Lily's account, then there's Luna's account. On Lily's account, I have been doing Planet Zoo stuff that doesn't involve actual habitats as much and more involves modular building and actually working with creating things. And while there was nothing I wanted to show off on this account, and so I cleared the cache over here and deleted it, there was some stuff over there that I did want to show off. In particular, there was something I was very proud of having built. And so I went over to Lily's account, and I got it set up, and I built it. Or not built it, but I uploaded it to the shop. It's a restaurant! It's a restaurant! Let me break this down for y'all. So, also welcome in for Harper Marine. We're all doing well? Good. Let me break this down for y'all. So we come over here to guest facilities. food stalls will work. This is the restaurant. This is a restaurant. So the guests will come in on through here, and then they go back, and whatever tables, so you get these little tables. There are restaurant tables specifically. You place these tables, and whatever tables are within the vicinity of the restaurant, they will go and they will seat themselves there, and then whenever they're done eating, they will just leave out whatever pathway they can. But this is the restaurant. This is what I have built. This is the Wolf, Bear, and Buck restaurant. You enter in, obviously, from here, get whatever order you want. It is a fully fleshed out restaurant. You can get all the things for very cheap. And then you come through this little PVC style doorway into the aptly themed restaurant. You have the wolf seating area, the bear seating area, and the buck seating area. It is a wooden slat underneath, so that way you can actually build pathways underneath it and allow people to walk around smoothly and efficiently. And it is glass top over. Looks very, very beautiful with bears, bucks, and wolves on top. Super, super cute. Pain in the ass to build. This whole thing was such a pain in the ass to build. And because it was such a pain in the ass to build, I did not ever want to have to build it again. So, I've done this. And for reference, I will say the big building, did not build that entirely myself. It is actually... Let me go over here. It'll be easier to find it. Here. This is a shelter. It's a habitat shelter that I have edited up and tweaked a bit to better fit the styling of a restaurant. Because whenever I would place this habitat shelter in habitats, I was just like, man, this would make a really good just building to use. It's a great building. So yeah, this is my restaurant. I built a whole restaurant. I also went ahead and picked up, I have this blueprint for this covered glass shell that I made over there. It's very simple. It's great for putting in picnic tables, vending machines. In particular, it's designed to hold animal talk points. So one of the ways that you can educate and entertain your guests in facilities, it's just over here, yeah, is you set up a animal talk point in front of a habitat, like right up against the wall of it, and it will give you an educator that you can like host talk points where they talk about the animal at certain times of the year and blah blah blah. You get the idea. But this shell is perfectly designed and fit to fit 3 of the animal talk points side by side. So you can fit 3 animal talk points in there, or you can actually double up these. You can split this. I made it so you can split it in half, and then you can increase the size of it if you wanted to. So yeah, those are uploaded to the workshop if you have Planet Zoo yourself and you're interested. Wolf, Bear, and Buck Restaurant. And I believe the other one is just called... Yeah, it's covered glass shell, Wolf, Bear, and Buck Restaurant. Be aware, the restaurant is expensive to place. It's a $25,000 restaurant, but it's worth it. It does fully function, I've checked. But yeah. Okie dokie. Let's get started, shall we? We're gonna start by seeing this baby horse be born. I need to hydrate. But I talked about this a little bit in the last stream, when we were watching the Okapi be born, is that when it comes to the birth, it is such a pain in the ass to deal with. I love being there for babies being born as much as possible, even though there's no particular animation to it. I just love seeing the babies. They're so cute and I love them so much. But it is such a dice roll. Because you get the notification of offspring is about to be born, and you go over to the animal that is in the process of being in labor, and then you sit there, and it's you could either have them lay down right then and there as soon as the notification goes off and have the baby, or you're going to be following this animal around the habitat for 5 to 10 minutes, waiting for them to lay down and have the baby, because they keep getting distracted, like they'll go eat, or they'll go play with something, or they'll have an interaction, or they want to go for a swim. And they will do all these different things before going into labor. So, let's see. Maybe we'll get lucky. Lay down. Have the baby. We got a cheetah exhibit to build. You were in labor. Now is not the time to play with a ball. Or maybe it is, I don't know. Did that baby just appear out of nowhere? Is that your baby? That's your baby! You didn't even do the laying down animation. You just spawned a baby out of nowhere. Oh, that's hilarious. I know it's just a baby, but it's a little male. Majority of the time, I don't keep males because there can only be one male in a lot of family dynamics. So I go ahead and I put the younger generation males on birth control. That way when they do age up, there's no risk of them doing anything before I can get to them. And also, it reminds me that I need to release them to the wild a majority of the time. A majority of the boys, they get to go outside and play. They get to go be sent out into the wild. But look at the baby. Oh, you're so cute. Precious. Anyways, cheetah habitat. Alright. When it comes to the cheetahs, obviously, I feel like it's pretty obvious. They love to run. They are big, big runners. It's the same thing in the game where they will love to run. They like to run long distances and get big sprints in. So, I'm probably going to take from here to actually about here. But it's going to be thin. It's going to be a thin but very long habitat. That way they can sprint from one side to the other with as much guile and muster as they can. It's my favorite thing to do is to give the cheetahs big long habitats because they'll use it. They'll run. That's what we'll get started with. Do I do pathways first? And do I put a dip in? I've done that before as well, where I've kind of made it like a track. And I put like a dip in the middle. And I've also made one where it's like a hill. And it goes downhill. And it's one side is deep and you look down into the habitat. And the other side is right on top. At ground level. Building a racetrack. Ooh, I hadn't thought about something like that. Could I do that? Getting perfect curves in this game is a pain in the ass, but it is doable. Shelters on either side to make it look like grandstands. I should specify, what kind of racetrack are we talking about? Are we talking about like NASCAR style racetrack where it's just a circle, left, go left? Or are we talking about like F1 style track where they're super wiggly jiggly and they make no sense? Because that also matters. One's easy to build. The other one not so much, but it's interesting. And I could do it. I'm fairly decent at the Moline trinipulation is what I almost said. Moline trinipulation. Terrain manipulation. I'm pretty decent at it. I could do some like up and down and around the sides. Horse track I was thinking. That's it. I could do that. Definitely. Yeah. That'll work. Thank you, Steepo. I need to hydrate. I keep getting distracted. You just need posts and fence going in a loop. Oh, actually, I thought about it like that. I was thinking more of like rounded out habitat and kind of like the shape of the track, and then build like the track itself inside of it. You know what I bet someone out there has built? What I would do if I had the time and effort, and I'm sure someone has, because I know that there is in construction with at least one of the packs, there's like, yeah, here it is actually. It's literally, it's just string. It's just string. It's just a rope. And y'all know how they create enrichment for cheetahs in the real world. Is they have these big, long stretches of track, and they have, oh shoot, what are they called? There's a specific name for them, and it literally yeeted itself out my brain. It just ran away as soon as I, was like, ah, it's this thing. But they tie a flag to a rope, and the rope spins around on a pulley system very, very fast, and they chase that. I bet somebody on PC, definitely probably not on console, because it's a pain in the ass on console, but I bet somebody on PC has actually made that cheetah enrichment of the pulley system to put into a habitat. Have some water troughs and obstacles that have the habitat in the middle. I want to try that in a diorama setting. That way I can, because I have an idea of this, and it could definitely work. But I don't have the time. If it uses will be helpful before I know it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing that I'm doing already, where I have my other account that I build stuff on. I'm going to try building that out and fleshing that out. I'm even going to go ahead, I can do the yarn system as well and try fleshing that out and seeing if it'll work. If it doesn't work, then I haven't wasted any hours on stream. If it does work, I can save it, pull it over onto this stream over here, or onto this account over here with the blueprints, and then I can show y'all how I built it from there. I like that idea. I think I'm going to do that. Because there's a... Where is that thing? There's a truck in here somewhere that works perfectly for that pulley system as like one of the things that they could run around where the pulley system would disappear, because they literally use that in real life where they have those enrichment places set up for cheetahs, and it has like a little truck in it that the cheetah can hang around on. And it holds the pulley system. It holds part of the engine holds part of the pulley system. This would do so well with that. I'm getting ideas, but I ain't got time to build it right now. Just write the description or y'all go into the funeral. Yeah, it be Jesus's. I'm not solely for the fact of I've only really talked to our landlord face to face 5 times. Less than 5 times, actually, I think. When we first met, I came in at one point to check on the water heater, the toilet, and we stopped by his house to drop off. Yeah, I've only talked to him 4 times. 4 times face to face. So I personally do not know him that well. And I am a firm believer of if you do not know the person, you should not be going to their funeral. You just shouldn't. My dad is one of those people. He goes to people's funeral even though he barely knows them. It disgusts me. I have very little respect for him as a human because he does that. It disgusts me that he does that. Like, you're making the funeral about yourself. It Be Jesus, however, obviously has been renting from him for a very long time. Now I'm going to stretch this out further. Has been renting from him for a very long time. He will be going. I did offer to go with him as, support. But he's just gonna, I think he's going straight from work. It's a very early funeral, to be frank. Yeah. But yeah. He'll be home early because of that. And I also just have stuff that I need to get done. I am behind on house chores, and I did not want to do them right now. So instead I'm streaming to be productive instead. I should be ashamed of myself. But it is. I don't know what's going on. Brain's just not doing the brain thing correctly lately. Does that make sense? Anybody else having that issue? What happened? How did it end up in me? Oh, right. Just make it delete. Brain not doing brain things correctly. Brain inconvenience. There we go. That's a track. Nice. Per Jesus, you streaming is arguably the modern trad life. I mean, it's getting to that point. I heard him talking about that last night. He's not entirely wrong. He is not far off. Do I want to do one-way glass for this one? Or do we do... How do I do the track barrier? To be fully frank, a real racetrack, they're doing the steel mesh or the chain link or the electric fencing, something along those lines, you know? I don't like the way those look. They make me sad. So, what would be our next? Hedge, maybe? I don't know if it's a smart idea to keep cheetahs in hedges, though. Come see our new cheetah habitat. Ignore the fact that the barrier is a hedge. I feel like the one-way glass, maybe. Maybe the concrete or brick. think I would go for the concrete more if the color was of this, you know? I will say I do like the thick rail on the top of the thick glass. Kind of gets the same vibe of some rails that you'll come across on horse tracks, where you can like put your hands up on them and lean across to actually look out on the track easier. I'm not gonna lie, the corrugated's not bad, just not obviously not for this. But I've never actually seen the corrugated fencing with the window in it. And it's not as bad as I thought it would be with the window in it. I think we're gonna go with the thick glass. We'll do it up and we'll see how I feel. We can always change it if we need to by selecting everything at once. Oh, I can change the color of the concrete, but I bet it can't change the same. I guarantee you it's not going to look the same as that sandstone. It's not the same. Why is it? It's not working when I get over onto this menu. Fine then. Thick glass. Because it's not going to give me issues. Baby Jesus made it safely to the funeral. Now we wait. Apparently we're doing Chinese for lunch. It's not what I had in mind, but... I could go for some Szechuan beef. It'd be better if, and I mean this in the politest way possible, if they gave me not white people spicy beef, you know? That's the biggest issue. Is like when I order something spicy, I want actual spicy. I want to hate myself for eating this a little bit, you know? Not white people spicy, where they put in 2 chili peppers and a sprinkle of pepper and they're like, that's enough. This is gonna kill me if we do too much more. No! I can handle it. Give me the real Szechuan. I know it's spicier than this. But it's fine. I think I have some extra chili here. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna check my chili stock. Otherwise, I might need to change my order. Yeah, I have enough. But I shouldn't have to supplement. Obviously, when it comes to more of like a racetrack style thing, and this is what I'm already planning out, I like this layout alone. I think I'm going to keep this layout when I do a diorama style and make it into a full thing. But these buildings, so classic racetrack. So classic. But we're keeping cheetahs in mind. I definitely don't need this. It's too much. Question is, how do I go about the shelters? Do I put them along the sides of the track? Like the track will be... Do I put them along the sides of the track? A la grandstand style? This is where you watch from? Or do I put them on the ends of the tracks? A la stables at the ends of the tracks. Stables and buildings that go at the very end. I'm over here thinking, ooh, we could do this like a grandstand thing. We have grandstands. We could just... You could do animal talk point stands and seating areas. Pain in the ass, slowly placing them all the way along. Racetrack stands. That'll work. So that means you can make the shelters the actual, like, stables. Ah, yes. It's all come together. just realized I forgot to read the thing. I sneezed and it hurt my rib. Anyways, cheetah. Population in wild 6,700. The cheetah, or Oceanic, onyx, s, us, us, e, no, asin, on it, asin, Acinonyx jubatus lives in the savannas and dry woodlands of central and southern Africa. They can be recognized by their slim body, deep chest, thin legs, and tail, as well as dark tear marks on the face. Not to mention their distinctive feature, their spots. Cheetahs are famous for being the fastest land animal, reaching up to 70 miles per hour when pursuing their prey. This is generally medium-sized mammals such as gazelle and impala. The cheetah population is in decline due to habitat loss, their territory having been overtaken by farmland and urban buildings. It is probable that their conservation status will go from vulnerable to endangered in the near future. Conservation efforts by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, Zoological Society of London, and range-wide conservation program for cheetah and African wild dogs include promoting ecotourism and creating reserves around land where cheetahs are prevalent in order to maintain their territory and prevention of poaching. I wonder if they're going to mention the thing. They don't. I'm going to bring up another issue that they are currently having, and part of the reason why we are struggling with maintaining their population is bottlenecking. There is a very severe bottlenecking issue happening with the cheetah population, and what bottlenecking means is that there are only so many cheetahs left in the wild, so a lot of them are related to each other. Even if a little bit distantly, they are still very related to each other, so we are struggling to separate out the bloodlines to keep them strong and healthy and prevent excessive inbreeding. That is a particular issue that a lot of these conservation programs are struggling with, is bottlenecking in cheetahs. But you can find them in Africa and parts of Asia, with grassland and desert biomes. Female cheetahs are solitary animals. They generally live and hunt alone, except when they are with their cubs, which will stay with their mother until they are old enough to cope on their own. Male cheetahs are often found in pairs or trios that live together and assist each other when hunting, and these male cheetah groups often become very close and will pine for each other when separated. Group size, excluding juveniles, is 1 to 3, 2 males up to 2 males in a bachelor group, and up to 1 female alone. Obviously, because we have all of our settings changed around, so that way everybody can be okay with each other. I think we're going to do group of 4, maybe? Solely because I have had cheetahs run away from me in terms of breeding, because they have, they can have up to 2 to 3 cubs sometimes. So, you can go from a group of 4 to a group of 10 very quickly. So, I think we'll do 4. 2 males, 2 females. Yay! But it's a sweet game. It's so sweet. They miss each other. They miss their boyfriends when they're away. It's precious, Jimmy. Also, welcome in, Kanzaki. Welcome in. Happy. Hope you're doing well. Some fun facts: a cheetah can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 3 seconds. Cheetahs cannot climb trees, but they do climb objects. It's one of those things of like, they cannot climb a tree correctly. They do not have the ability to do so. Not like a lion or a tiger or a jaguar can. But they can jump up onto objects and they can balance themselves just fine. So for shorter, smaller trees, they can jump up onto the lower limbs and hang out up there. And they have a particular preference in the wild and on reserves for human vehicles, because they are short enough that they can jump up on top of them and they're nice and flat, so that way they can hang out. So while they don't necessarily climb trees, they do jump up to heights and they will hang out in climbable places. Unlike most cat species, the cheetah cannot retract its claws, an adaptation to give it better traction on the ground when running at speed. Cheetahs have evolved light bones and large lungs to enable them to run faster, and the cheetah has a long and muscular tail that it uses to steer and balance itself when running very, very fast. Super cool. Cheetahs are amazing. I have the belief cheetahs, and there's other fun facts about them. Like cheetahs, they're one of the only big cats that consistently purr and do not roar. They do not roar. They are not able to. They chirp and they squeak, but they do not roar. And they are the chillest around humans. I don't... As far as I'm aware, and I would need to fact check this, but as far as I'm aware, there hasn't been a human killed by a wild cheetah. I think there has been at least one that's been, he was either maimed or almost killed by a cheetah that was like kept as a pet. And obviously, when you keep something like that in small spaces and you irritate them enough, they're gonna lash out. I don't count those, you know, that's just animals being animals. But cheetahs, I'm fairly certain, are one of the few that, like, they're not gonna actively go after humans. And I have the weirdest feeling that cheetahs actually used to be domesticated with us. At least a little bit. I think that they used to, while we have no real facts about this and there's nothing that supports this, they are just too cool and too kind with humans to not have hung out with us consistently at some point in the past. So I do think that, like, cheetahs are the domesticated cats of some human tribe from who knows how long ago, because they're just way too kind with humans. They are so sweet. I want a cheetah. Counting or not counting cheetah on cheetah violence, that's a different story. Although I will say cheetahs don't fight each other that much either. Cheetahs do, they're they're kind of like horses. They're the horses of the big cat world, where an injury to their leg kills them. Like like they most likely will not heal fast enough to be able to eat and survive the healing process. So they need to be very careful about what kind of fights they go up against. They do not want to fight with lions or leopards. They do their best to keep away from very large prey animals like elephants and buffalo, because they know that they can't take them on. And they will be careful to stay away from themselves, only really getting into occasional small squabbles. I've seen cheetahs fight before. It's honestly kind of funny. They're just like slap boxing the crap out of each other and screaming at each other because they don't want to risk getting into a full-blown tussle. And I respect that. Oh, but I was getting into there and I was checking all that because I needed to see if I needed to do a larger amount of sand over soil, and the answer is yes. More sand than soil. She was so sweet. Sand, and then we'll do... Do I make the track darker or lighter? Lighter. So we'll do this first. What am I doing? Increase the size, increase the intensity. There we go. So, I colored out all the lines. What's wrong with me? This music is nice. A racetrack? Umasuma? I can never say it right. Yes. I always love to do tracks for cheetahs because they will actively run a lot if you give them a long enough space. It's hard to see. Can't really tell where the lines are at. Go. Can we bet on cheetah races? I wouldn't stop y'all. That's definitely something, if I had my own zoo with my own say, I would probably set up cheetah races if I had like a bonded pair of brothers or something like that, or even have like separate enrichment enclosures. That way one could be on one side, one could be on the other, and they wouldn't interact with each other if that was needed. But I would totally have side-by-side enrichment, and I'd be like, alright guys, place your bets, who's gonna win the race? And it'd be a way I would raise donations for the zoos, allow betting on cheetah races. Need a little more depth like this, they won't be able to come out. Yeah, this is gonna be their whole habitat. The track's more of a vibe. Though I will say I should actually raise the height of the bars a little bit on the fencing. It's so difficult to get it to like stay nice and smooth and center without over darkening it. Actually, I'm getting hungry now that I think about it. I'm still quite tired. I did not sleep well last night. I blame the weather. That's awful. No. Get your shit together. Ah. Maybe they don't make the curves. You know? Maybe they just don't make the curves. Good enough. Started from a different side because of that. Hey! There we go. Dimensions! I wish we could blend, though. Like, that's something that I would very much... I'm hoping that we will have an option of in the next game. Of just a blending paintbrush where it lets you just run it over and just kind of smooth everything out. Because like when you're down here, it doesn't look too bad. You can still see the sharp lines, but it's not too bad. And then you get up here and you're like, nah, yeah, you can see where it's painted at. I mean, honestly, even when you get around into here, as much as I try to blend everything out and make it not too obvious what's been painted and what hasn't, it's still very obvious. I'm not a fan of that. I just wanted to be smoother. Where am I going to put the water? I've got to plan this through better in terms of an actual habitat. Ah, of course, the habitat or shelter that I've chosen is not even a worthy shelter. They only want the little wooden ones that don't match my aesthetic. I could go with the log shelter. It's got the red roof on top and I can sink it. Still not the same. You're taking away my aesthetics! My aesthetics! Annoying. Husband! I'm finishing this habitat, though. I can't really decide if I want to do the thicker columns or not. I'm gonna come back to this. I'm gonna go let him in. The cheetahs may decide that they want to be in a log habitat that doesn't match my aesthetics, and I decide I'm gonna make the fucking aesthetics. It'll work. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Thank you, Gonzaki. If you say so, fuck you, Jimmy. I wish the dry grass patches and just grass patches in general that you can find were larger. And yes, I'm aware I make excessively sized habitats that are quite large and therefore difficult to fill very well with flora.
Mm-hmm.
But this is they're too small. It would take forever and a lot of grass just to fill up the one patch around the zebras. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about doing stands all the way around Kansaki, just because the stands are a pain in the ass to place. Like, this is just the stands. This is just the stands, and as y'all can see, like, I have to get them, like, nice and measured up so that they're not flipping through each other, but they're also nice and close. But then you go over here to the railing and stairs, and they also have to be perfectly manually placed on each and every single one of them, and these can't be copied and duplicated. I cannot, like, do a major, massive, grand stand and make it look super nice and fancy, and then just copy it and duplicate it to the opposite side like I do with everything else, because you can't duplicate these things for whatever reason. If I could duplicate the talking stands, though, I would definitely make them way more intricate and beautiful. They'd be really big and cool. Why don't we see an NPC? Is because it's not open. Yeah, I always keep my zoos closed until I have like a good handful of habitats. It also helps prevent lag. They get quite laggy quite fast. I also have the game paused because the years run by quick. The days are fast in this game, so by keeping it paused, I can build and do whatever I need to do without letting the zoo run away from me. Do we know that I gotta be mindful of that? Apparently it's just somehow uneven. That one lands there. That one lands in dead center. How are they uneven? Maybe the path's uneven. So even further. I can't wait to see how the NPCs react. Hopefully they'll like it. Hopefully they'll react well. Let's see about going over here. Setting up this. It only covers 3 at a time, so I gotta extend it to match. I like this song, so relaxing. Same here, Kanzaki. It's nice. It's a nice, relaxing game. could have sworn that there was some particular screen that lets you actually put up the habitat camera feeds on them. Maybe it is the advertising habitats, but I'm not sure. Also, it's just not quite sitting the way I want to. My idea was like, you know, you have the screens in there for people that can't fully see the track. They can watch on the screen as the horses run by, or the cheetahs. Yeah. For the most part, I think we're about done with this. I will say it's a little bit barer than I would prefer it to be. If I had it my way, there'd be like tons of trees and stuff like that to create lots of shade and shadowing. But racetrack theming. Racetrack theme's the idea. And for a racetrack theme, this is pretty good. Alright. That means the only thing to do is to get cheetahs. We have a female cheetah that is spotless. And it's good fertility, so we don't have to worry about that in. So, we have another female cheetah here that's gold. That's our 2 females. Now we just need 2 males. You've made good progress in 20 hours of games. Oh, thank you so very kindly, Kanzaki. Sometimes I feel like we haven't gotten much done, but in terms of my habitat size, we get a lot. Cheetahs! Yeah, bold cheetah. Do something cute. Interact with other cheetahs so I can get a cute screenshot. You know what I realized I forgot? Grass. They don't live entirely on sand. If you had the opportunity to have an exotic animal in your home, what would be your choice? Probably a cheetah. They're just chill little guys. Obviously, this would be an exception of, like, I can provide literally everything possible to the greatest of their enrichment so that they are always happy and always have fun and live the fullest of their lives. But I would want a cheetah. Maybe an elephant. Elephants are probably right up there too, but elephants would require a lot more caretaking than a cheetah and a lot more space. Cat Mom wants a cat in shirt, Pikachu face. Fuck you, Jimmy. Unsuccessful mating there. Although, I will say, y'all see that? It says, they're hungry, even though they're not supposed to be able to feel hunger. They do get hungry, and obviously, these things are not getting refilled. You just gotta have the keepers refill any of the food enrichment they have. Baby camel! It's our first baby camel! Look at him! So cute! I'll take a parrot or a toucan. Ooh, good choices. Parrots make great pets, for experienced owners, of course, but they make great pets. Pets. He copies Mom. So cute. Oh, heck yeah. Gold Przewalski, baby. You get a star on the end of your name. Nice, we're keeping her. Camel milk is good. Never had it, but I've heard it is.
Nom nom.
Yeah, she showered. The keeper just showered that little buddy in food. Nice little treat for him. Oh my goodness. I just want to rub the belly. I want to rub the belly. Look at those murder beans. Camels. can't wait for cheetah cubs. The cheetah cubs are so freaking cute. That was weird. Arctic wolves appeared on this page, but only for a second. Weird. Let's go! We know what habitat we're building in the next stream. Melanistic wolf. Let's fucking go. Never got one of those. It's new for me. Let's go! Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now we know what we're going to start with on the next stream. We're going to build a timber wolf habitat. Would it be too much for our guests if I built the wolf habitats right next to each other and it just howls on either side? We'll see when we get started in the next one. I could end up putting it over there. Maybe I'll put it over here. Maybe I'll do it over there. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But for now, although this was a very short stream, I did come into and start this stream with the idea and possibility that we would only be able to get one habitat done, the cheetah habitat. And we did do that, and I'm very happy with it. It looks super good. Nice little racetrack styling. I think at some point, maybe this weekend, I'm gonna hop over on my other account where I do my modular building and see if I can't make an actual, like, string. What are those things called? Fuck. Fly chasing? I think. I can't remember. But the strings with the flags on them. And see if I can't make a flag chasing enrichment item for them. That obviously it wouldn't work, it would just be for decoration. But see if I could do that and pull it over onto this account. But for now, I'm super happy that we have cheetahs added in. I love cheetahs and I adore their cubs. They have super, super cute cubs. They're just little balls of fluff and shirts. So, that'll be the plan for the next stream. We also had a couple of babies. We had a dromedary camel baby. We've had, 2 Przewalski's horse babies, and we've had our second Okapi baby. Yay! Super happy with how the zoo's coming along. But, for now, if you spent time here today with me, Sky, here in Planet Zoo, then thank you all so very, very much for taking the time out of your day and spending it here with me. I greatly appreciate you doing so. If you have to go to work or go home from work, please be very, very careful, and I hope that you all have a very wonderful day. I will see you all in the next stream. I don't know when that will be. I gotta go to my mother's tomorrow. We got stuff to do this weekend. We have plans. So maybe next week I'll see y'all. Maybe possibly this weekend, if I find time. We'll get there when we get there, and we'll stream when we stream. And when we do, it'll be fun. But for now, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope that you all have a very wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.